Spin this bad boy around and we'll get started. We got the incredible, the amazing, the beautiful Miss Stephanie Wing. Mrs. Stephanie Wing, let's not be mistaken. You giving the viewers on YouTube your best side or what? We're cooking.
You want to hold off for a minute anyways?
Oh yeah, we'll cook. Yeah, but people are going to watch this later anyway. So we got Mr. Achilles there hanging out. He's, how old is he now, Steph? About 4 months and change? 4 months? Yeah. We're going to keep the ribeyes on the back. The back is our indirect heat, baby. Y'all know we are cooking and training at the same time. On the Weber grill, make no mistake, we don't use charcoal here. I mean, we don't use gas, no, I'm lying, so we use everything. But we got charcoal there, real deal charcoal. And we got, speaking of charcoal, we got a charcoal colored puppy here, Mr. Achilles, getting about a 4-month-old Cane Corso. And he's about 4 weeks into training, doing amazing, beautiful, beautiful downstay. And today's training session is how to behave around the grill, which is you can be out, it's a beautiful night out. You can be with us while we're grilling. You just can't jump on the grill and burn your butt. And you can't wander off into the yard where it's super dark and I can't see you. So hang out with us. If you hang out with us, I pay you. And his job's just to stay on the place board, no matter who comes in or out, no matter if I bring some steak right by him, no matter if a piece of food falls off the grill, you stay, you get paid. Good boy. It's got the leash on as like the backup plan, so to speak. Just doing awesome. Really good pup. We're working on some position changes, which we may show you a touch of. He's already 15 or 20 minutes into training, so he's not going to be super, super motivated, but that tummy's pretty full already. But his job, he's already smelling some of that steak cooking. I can see that little sniffer going. But no matter how much steak you might be smelling, stay on the place board. If you got any questions, post them in the comments below. This is kind of a impromptu live, you know what I'm saying? Make sure you all can hear me correctly. If you got any interesting questions related to grilling or training, we're here for you. Any questions come through yet?
Not yet.
You just let me know. We got Spider the cameraman, working the camera, working the room. Let's see what the temperature's at. We are pegged past 600, baby. That real deal charcoal gets you those high temps. Perfect for searing. But we're not searing yet, baby. We're doing the reverse sear method.
What kind of steak are we cooking tonight?
Well, before we talk about the steak, let's talk about the old man himself. Old as dirt. He's 13 years old this December. Mr. Zifos, the 12.75-year-old Cane Corso. Still got it, baby. Can still get up and down the stairs, still swims in that pool, still drinks from the pool. What we're cooking, we are cooking ribeyes. 3 big fat ones. You want to come check it out? I know the folks at home probably wondering, don't burn my camera now. This thing gets hot. Woo-wee. Hot, hot doggy. So they're there. These are going to probably take 20 to 25 minutes. We're about 5+ minutes in. But if you're looking, you're not cooking. You already know that. So let's not look. Let's let those bad boys cook. Big old fat ribeyes. So even if another dog comes out, even if the old man comes up the stairs, little man's supposed to stay where he's supposed to stay. If he does a good job, we pay him. That's how it goes. Now we're waiting. We can do a little bit of training. Right now, he's hooked up to his martingale collar. We do have a prong collar on. We're not really using it at this moment. We do have an e-collar on. Same thing. Good boy. Good boy. We were working position changes from heel position. He has it beautifully from the front center position. Let's test it. Live on camera. Down. Yes, proper mechanics. Happy with that. Stand. Yes. Almost dropped into it. Sit. Yes. Beautiful mechanics on that. Not super fast, but I'm okay with it. And then the leash pressure is just, let me tell you, man. The leash pressure, when we talk about butter soft, it's lighter than fingertip pressure. Like, it is It's like the weight of the leash light. It's perfect. And that's on the martingale. And then we can also use the leash pressure to just, oh my God, like a little baby, drop them where we need them. Now, some people got their little panties in a twist because we were talking about what happens when the reliability of your voice commands goes out the window. And when does that happen? All the time in real life. When distractions are present, how powerful is your voice in relation to the level of distraction? Most cases, not quite powerful enough. In fact, and this is where people got all upset, as I said, even police canine handlers, when the dog's at a peak level of distraction, what's that? Chasing a bad guy, running after him, on an actual bite, when shots ring out, when there's a suspect up on the roof and your dog's trying everything they can to bite him, most police canine handlers will struggle to get a dog to comply with their verbal command first time, every time. And so it's no wonder that even your pet dog, when there's a cat, bunny, squirrel, another dog, a piece of food on the ground, you're in a busy environment, whatever it is, that when you ask your dog to do something with a verbal command, that they won't do it the first time, every time. Maybe the 5th time you ask them, maybe the 10th time, maybe you're screaming at your dog to sit and they won't sit. You simply come on over with your leash pressure and you can demand what you want, which, by the way, in turn empowers your voice, because it's sit or else, down or else. And that's the beauty of leash pressure that some people didn't quite get through their head. And they were giving me smack saying, basically, I don't even know, because it didn't make sense what the argument was, but why do you need to teach leash pressure? You should have reliable voice commands. I would say, oh yeah? How reliable are your voice commands if they're not backed up with leash pressure? Because that's how you build the reliability in your command. Because if you tell your dog, for instance, to down and they don't, and you don't have a proper recourse, or what we call a correction with direction, which could come about with the leash pressure, which could come about with the e-collar, etc., then your dog will cease to respect your voice. That's how it goes. So yeah, you have to have another way to get the reliability you're looking for, especially when you don't have treats on you, or, like I said, you're in a really distracted environment. Now might be the time to check on those steaks, give them their first flip, and see what's happening. Pivotal that we're working around a literally over 600-degree grill, and he's just a few feet away. He's got to maintain there. Now you might say, oh, don't have him near the grill. Okay, he's a 4-month-old puppy. What am I supposed to do with him? Because if I'm busy grilling, who's watching the puppy, right? Let's say, especially if you're by yourself, wife's making all the other stuff, kids are doing, nobody's watching the puppy. So he'd have to be in a crate. Rather than him being in a crate, he can hang out here with me. So that's how that goes. Woo-wee. It's hot, baby, hot. All right, check these big boys out. Let's see. Looking good. Again, that beautiful reverse sear method, that's what we're going for. The party will start maybe in another 10 minutes. We'll bring him to the hot section where we can sear him and put some color on him. Doing good. Beautiful dog, beautiful obedience, and you get paid, baby. Now, where we're struggling with him is he's got beautiful mechanics, beautiful voice command on the, what we would call the front center, right? If I'm standing here and he's facing me, we got a nice sit down and stand on hand command, voice command, and leash pressure command. Where things get a little funky, because we're not there yet, is if we're in heel position, will he have the sit down and stand from heel position? And the answer is, we're on our way there. It's not quite there yet. Because dogs, extremely visual animals, and they learn a lot from what they're seeing, what we call the picture. And the picture presented is, and for instance, you're the dog, there's a big difference between sit, down, stand from this position. In fact, look at the hand commands, right? Sit, down, and we use stand. Perfect. Look what it looks like when you're in heel position as the dog. Sit. You can't see me. Down. Or you can pan the camera. But I would be in heel position. I know I'm going to be right up on you. It's a different look. This no longer is your sit command, right? We use different hand commands from a different position because it's a different look. Look what she's going to do. Don't go messing with my steaks now. You know she was trying to, you got to teach her. If you're looking, you're not cooking.
Can you stop? You're so cheesy.
She says I'm cheesy. You know, my wife loves me. No, she's an amazing cook. I just try to live up to her standards. Let me tell you what, if I burn her steak, I will hear about it for the next 2 weeks. Forget about it. Because she does all the cooking. Unless it's on the grill and it's a steak, then it's on me. All the pressure's on me. Lord have mercy.
If it's not a steak, I still do the grilling too.
That's true. She said if it's not a steak, she still does the grilling. She's grill champ. And again, for the boys and the girls watching, we're not talking about propane. You just turn your little knob and you press your little ignite button. No. We're talking about we got to use a chimney starter. We got to stack up the coal. We got to use fire starters, the real deal. So now this is a level 10 distraction for him, little ones, and little ones bending down. So we'll prepare for the correction as needed or put him in a down even. And he's allowed to get pet. He's just not allowed to come off the place board. Now we got double trouble here. Double trouble. Yeah, his little tails are going, boy. He just loves little ones. So I'm just going to hold the leash because, again, he's not allowed to come off unless Achilles. Okay. Then he can come off and he can hang out with the little ones. Stretch his legs. He likes going on because this is where he gets paid. Then the question is, if he puts himself back on, is he allowed off? User's choice. Okay. He is a lover, though. Look at him go. He's got to watch that puppy biting. Because as cute as it is, he's still got freaky, sharp little puppy teeth that can hurt. So, Achilles, leave it. Please. Good boy. Stay. He is. Good boy. I know, he's a lover. Any questions?
Yes, questions. Do you train small dogs the same way you train big dogs?
Yeah, great question. Do we train small dogs same as big dogs? Yeah, pretty much the same. We just dial things down a little bit. Really, it's more of a, I don't know what the word is, but like the mechanics of it. If I'm training a big dog and I'm feeding him in heel position and his head's right here, it's a lot different if we're dealing with like a 6, 8, 10 pound, like let's say Yorkie puppy, Pomeranian puppy, whatever. But literally their mouth is here. And so when we're doing healing, as silly as it looks and as uncomfortable it is for your back and your knees, this is how we're healing around. You have to. There's other little techniques and tricks we have so you can save your back, such as using, can you not do that, my love? Thank you. She's like trying to do bite work with him.
I'm making him bite my hand.
Yeah, I saw you. She's like feeding him the sleeve, basically. Well, we're not teaching him that. He was doing a good job, yeah.
I was playing with him with my arm.
So anyways, to answer that question, there's really not a big difference other than you kind of dial everything down a little bit. For instance, if you can still give a correction to a young puppy or a small dog, but you're going to do it obviously a lot lighter than if it was a 130-pound dog. You're going to do it a lot lighter versus a 6-pound dog. But same thing. And place board. Instead of using a monster place board, they have small place boards about yay big. And different food, maybe, right? We're not going to feed a large kibble to a small puppy. So small changes there, but generally speaking, it's the same exact philosophy, same exact techniques, methods, just things slightly modified for the size. And I'm keeping a close eye here, like he's allowed to play with her, just trying to dial back on that puppy biting a little bit. Doesn't help when she's literally like feeding him a sleeve. I wonder who taught you that.
You.
There you go.
I learned it from you from bike work.
Exactly.
But I'm playing with him with my arm.
I know you're playing with him with your arm.
It's kind
And you got your little sheriff's badge there. I like that. How about you do some work with him on the leash pressure? Let's grab it. Go ahead. Do your thing. Go ahead. Pull him off if he doesn't come off. There you go. Walk him around right here. Good. He's going to go on that place board anyways. Maybe use the leash and get him to sit. Go ahead, lift up, and hold. Good job. And pull him into a down. Go ahead. Good. Now that's on the flat collar, and he's being not very compliant at first with the sit. He ignored her sit. What did she do? Followed up with leash pressure and goes, oh, I guess you really wanted me to sit. Yeah, exactly. So good for her. Now, you might say, oh, she's a little rough. She's 58 pounds and he's probably 55 or 58 pounds. So they weigh about the same. And as you should know, dogs are pound per pound, probably twice as strong as a human. Don't quote me on it. I'm looking in a book. I'm just telling you, like a 130-pound dog is a lot of damn dog. So I would say on average, a 130-pound person would have a very difficult time walking a 130-pound dog if that dog was trying to pull them. In fact, we just did that experiment the other day. No, I don't want him to teach Paul. Put him on the place board.
For any questions regarding the equipment we use, if you want to check out the links in our page. We have an About page that has our link tree. You can find our Amazon storefront. That'll show us what collars we recommend. And if you go to our website, you can find out how to use those collars properly on the dogs or whatever you guys are looking to train.
Look at me.
So this is just a little behind the scenes. We were filming actually a course. We're filming a course with him, which is training a puppy from 0 to hero, where we start him at around 3 months old, no training whatsoever, and we film every single training session for his entire duration here. All the good, all the bad, all the struggles, all the breakthroughs, walking you through every single part of the process. And it's extremely time consuming. And no, I don't want that. They're bringing like shots out. I don't want any shots. No. I'm not interested. So what I was saying is we're filming that with him and we were set up with the light and we were filming on the camera and the camera, we were just done with the shot, so to speak, like we finished his training. And so, all right, my love. So this is where we grab the leash. Yeah, well, that's what happens. You stop playing with him like that. Sometimes the puppy needs to learn the hard way. Sometimes the kid needs to learn the hard way. She keeps teasing him with her arm for him to bite, which is, she's obviously gotten pretty good at doing that from watching me. And what does he do? He goes, oh, you want me to bite your arm? And so he's starting to bite her arm, and then she backs away. And then, anyways, that's where we got to watch the puppies. We got to watch the little ones. Good boy. So I'm not really mad at her because she's just playing with him. I'm not mad at him because she's inviting the play. So he's just doing what he does. So. But that's where we have to have that oversight, you know? And we're going to check on this in the meantime. Going to open up the vents a little bit. We're losing a little bit of heat there. I mean, you open up the vents, get a little more air in there, which gets you a little more flame, gets you a little more heat. There you go.
Look at this perfectly poured baby Guinness.
So Cole went to some Irish bar the other day and had a baby Guinness shot for the first time. And so now he's infatuated with it. So he created his own. I guess it's his first iteration.
I think he's made them before. He's just never had one before.
Yeah.
Right,
So,
Cole?
I've made them before. I've never had one.
oh, okay.
Well, I've had one the other night for the first time.
This is perfectly poured baby Guinness. Beautiful.
So now we're hooked to the prong collar. You can see a correction live on camera. 4-month-old puppy, 58-ish pounds, 55, 58, 60 pounds. We don't need him chewing on arms anymore. It's just not allowed. And it's shame on her for encouraging it. But we have to come in and say, stop doing that. Should we need to. Or I'm going to let these hang out just a little longer. Any more questions?
Yeah.
What do we got?
Let's see. How do you start transitioning from treat consistently to treat sometimes?
Oh, you just do it, baby. Just do it. They call it intermittent rewards, or there's another one. Not intermittent. There's another word for it. Variable rewards. There might even be a third or a fourth or a fifth name for it. But once the dog pretty much has the command reliably, then you can start transitioning away from that. So you can do it every second, third, fourth, fifth command. You can reward. You can start doing mini jackpots. You can do jackpots. You can end up doing an entire 20-minute training session and at the end of the 20-minute training session, the big jackpot is there. She loves to jump in and help. Sometimes she's helping, sometimes she's
Can I get
not
him off
helping.
the playboard?
You can pull him off. Make sure to tap his nose, okay? Good. Bring him over here. Good. Very mild with your leash pressure there, my love. He's on the prong. Very gentle. There you go. Gentle, 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 gentle.
Can we take a picture?
Sure, we'll take a picture. Take a picture, Spider.
Cheese. Oh, what a good picture.
I don't think she has any idea what we're doing, but... All right, put him back on the place board, please. Gentle, gentle, my love. You're pulling too hard, okay? She's used to dealing with dogs like Thanos size, so... Which we encourage her to be, you know, as strong as she has to be, but he's pretty easy peasy dog, so no need to be hard. Good job.
He's a friendly dog.
Anyways, then as far as the answering that question, you can eventually get completely away from food and start using a toy as a reward. So what kind of toy? Ball on a rope, tug toy, whatever your dog's into. And we would say, too, when you're trying to teach something, food is a better reward to use, because food on general is a lower value. You're working the dog in a lower drive. You bring about a tug toy or something like that, especially if you have like a high drive working dog, it sends them into orbit and they can't even think straight. So you can't, we typically say it's not easy to teach a dog something new. With a toy, you would use the toy to speed up a command they already know that they learned in a lower drive. Just leave him there, my love. Let him rest. Yep.
I'm going to show you.
Show me. What are you going to show me? I don't want you to pull him off anymore. Can you put him back on now? Thank you, thank you. Any other questions while we're waiting?
We're looking at, can you train a French Bulldog? And at what age should you start training your puppy?
Can you train a French Bulldog? No, they can't be trained. You know, no trainer will admit that, but French Bulldogs, completely untrainable dog because of genetics. You know, their ears are much more oversized than the typical dog compared to their skull, which is indicative of a very small brain, and therefore they can't be trained. And someone's going to take that, turn it into a short, and say, Garrett hates Frenchies. Of course you can train a Frenchie. You can train whatever you want. It's all the same. It's all the same. So yeah, you can train whatever you like. But we always get that. But can you train? But can you train a Rottweiler? Yeah. But that technique you showed, does it work on, name it, you know, a German Shepherd? Yes, it's all the same.
And how young should you start training your puppy?
Day one, hour one, minute one. You're training your dog, whether you know you're training your dog or not. It's constantly training. Like when I'm not training the dog and I'm talking to you, but he's over there playing with my daughter, and my daughter is instigating freaking bite work with him with my eyes closed, like I'm not watching, he's learning. What is he learning? That it's okay to do that, which is not what we want. So your dog is learning every minute of every day. He's learning something. The question is he learning something you want him to do, or is he learning something you don't want him to do, because those patterns of behavior are getting established? And we've said it before, we'll say it again. So Larry Crone, some of you all know him. Big shout out to him. One big thing that I stole from him, if you will, because he put it better than I could. When do you train your kids? Right? When do you train your kids? You train them from 9 a.m. to 9:30 and then the rest of the day is do whatever you want? No. You may take 15 minutes out of your day to teach them how to swim, to teach them how to ride a bike. But throughout the day, you're constantly keeping an eye on them to make sure they're doing the right thing and not making mistakes and not coloring on the walls or who knows what. So as far as your puppy goes, you're training day one, minute one. And what you should be focusing on, though, maybe you shouldn't be teaching an 8-week-old puppy how to heel, but let's get that potty training right. Let's get that crate training right. Let's start desensitizing them. Let's socialize them. Let's get them good with their environmentals.
And even before day one, we even talk about the pre-preparation to getting a dog and how you should be prepared for when you pick up that puppy and take it home.
Yep. So you gotta be ready to go. You got to be training yourself, training your family before you, you know, start training your dog. I think sometimes people get their puppy, have no idea what they're doing, don't have the right equipment, don't have the right philosophy of training, don't have a roadmap to success, and then try to start winging it. And then when it doesn't work, the dog's already super habituated to, guess what? Peeing in your house, barking in the crate, pulling on the leash, jumping on guests. They've been doing it now for weeks, if not months, if not, God forbid, years. And then it's like, oh, well, can I train him now? Okay. A 2-year-old dog is kind of like an 18 or 21-year-old human. What do I mean by that? Fully physically and mentally mature. So at what age, if we talk about humans for a minute, do you just let like I'll just let my kids run absolutely wild and rampant? Not teach them how to be potty trained, so to speak. Not teach them proper manners, how to say please and thank you and things like that. No, just let them be buck wild till they're 21. Now, when they're 21, I'll crack down and say, oh, this is how you're supposed to behave. No, it's too late then. It's too late. All right, come take a look at these beautiful, beautiful steaks. We'll bring them over to the searing section now. Just put a little color on them. This is a big fat one here, so this one's gonna have to hang out a little longer. See how wiggly and jiggly it is. Remind you of something. These are looking good though. Perfect. Good questions though. I love the questions tonight. Hope everybody else is having a wonderful, wonderful night. So we're gonna have that lid cracked open, keep the flames going, lots of airflow. That thing's gonna flare up pretty soon here. What's up, beautiful? All right, you want to answer a dog training question? Let's see. Let's test your knowledge, little one. Any question for the little one?
Let's see.
Oh, I got a question for you. What's your favorite type of dog? Your favorite dog breed?
Italian Mastiff.
Italian Mastiff.
Yeah.
I like that answer. What's your favorite puppy we've ever trained of all the puppies? Snow. That's one of my favorites too. Snow's a little white Pomeranian. Why did you like Snow?
Because she's fluffy.
She's fluffy, yeah, and her personality's pretty good. Yeah. What else about her?
And she's small.
She is small. Yeah. She wants me to go ahead and she wants me to get a Pomeranian puppy or something like that. Something small for the channel. The other one's favorite. My other daughter loves the sausage dogs. Yeah, the
Dachshunds.
Dachshund. I can't never pronounce it correctly. Dachshund. Dachshund. All right, we getting that color. Looking beautiful. Now, here's the question of the day. Here's the question of the day. You ready? All right, face the camera. I want to see your expression. Who cooks better steaks, mommy or daddy?
Daddy.
That's what I thought. Good answer. No, it's too hot, my sweet. Now, who's the better cook overall? Who cooks the best food overall?
Daddy.
No, that's not true. You know mommy does. You know mommy does. Let me put this here. A little more color. Woo, there's that flame. Perfect, perfect. All right, we're getting ready to end the live. If you got any more questions, shoot them out because we're going to end it as soon as we're done cooking, which is in the next few minutes.
Yes. So question 1 is going to be, dog is escaping crate when they are not home. Any recommendations and tips on how they can help crate train or kennel train that dog?
Yeah, for sure. So always scary when you're dealing with that because for a number of reasons, which is my number one concern when I hear about dogs escaping crates, especially wire crates, is in the process of the escape. First off, they can crack a tooth, right? Because they're biting, they're using their teeth and their paws. They get their paws stuck, or God forbid, they get their head stuck in the crate. And they get their head stuck in the crate, you could come back to something you don't want to see. You know what I mean? Very dangerous for the dog. So, and then aside from that, of course, if they escape, what are they doing when they get out? You know, potty training issues, they could be chewing things up. I'm just trying to keep an eye on my daughter. Try not to go too close to the grill, my sweet, okay? So how do we fix that? The simplest solution, and it's going to sound like a plug, but I didn't answer this question. You know, it's a good question. Impact dog crates. Escape proof, bomb proof. Your dog can't get out of it. Once your dog realizes it can't get out, it'll stop trying to get out. The thing with the wire crate is it's 100% convinced it can get out, because now it has, even if it has 1 rep under its belt of getting out, God forbid it has 2, 3, 4, 5 reps of busting its way out of a wire crate, it's now absolutely convinced it can do it. Now, if it took it 5 minutes to do it the first time, and you do something like zip tie it, it'll spend 50 minutes or longer convinced that I just know I need to bite it a little harder, try a little harder, and I'll bust through. So you're almost, if it's a wire crate they're busting out of, you're kind of SOL when it comes to ever getting the dog to be calm in the wire crate or not try to bust out. Is there a way? There is a way, and it involves proper use of the e-collar, which I'm not going to get into now, but there is a way. No toys right now for him, my love. No, thank you. There is a way, but even then it's not 100% guarantee, because you'd have to do so much work and so much setup and have the perfect system where you can keep eyes on them that you could get a few reps in and try to start to clean it up, but then the dog's going to get slick, and one day when you're not ready, and you may not have the e-collar on, or you're not training, but your dog's still learning, you walk away and your dog tries to bust out of the wire crate. And again, that could be the day that your dog's neck gets stuck in there, so we can't have that. So the simplest solution, save yourself all the headache, impact dog crate, bomb proof. They can't get out. And again, once they realize they can't get out, you're pretty set at that point. Perfect. Any more questions?
Yeah, regarding habits and dogs, somebody has a dog with the habit of sniffing the ground while walking on a leash. And if you want to bring up 80-20 rule and generally teaching focus while walking.
You tell them what you think on that.
So any habit can be broken. The older the dog is, it's going to be a lot tougher to kind of overcome. Thankfully, at 7 months old, you're kind of in that prime time, a little bit older than the prime time, which is around 4 to 6 months, but 7 months is right there. Great window to start. And first thing you're going to want to focus is just getting a lot of engagement with your puppy. Really start off with small steps. Look for 1% of an improvement each time you go out on a walk, and just focus on getting the attention from your dog off of the ground and onto you, whether that's through making noises or using food, especially. Instead of feeding them freely, give them food while on the walk, and make sure they're just paying
only
attention
on
to
the
you.
walk. Potentially only on the walk.
Yeah.
But tell them the 80-20 rule.
Yeah, so 80-20 rule is a great guideline. We still want our dogs to be able to look around, especially focus on like potentially other noises, especially if you're looking at protection dogs, but we do want them to be able to
enjoy the walk.
Enjoy the walk, sniff, go to trees, but that can only be attained if they're respecting the 80-20 rule, which is 80% of the attention on you, the handler, 20% allowed to check out, enjoy the walk. Again, people I know are going to say, oh, it's a dog, you're on a walk, they should be able to just go freely, but realize they will be much more free if they can focus 80% of the attention onto you, 20% onto the rest of the walk.
Yeah, so beautifully said, and I'll add too, the reason we want 80% attention on us, potentially, is we're just simply asking the dog to stay next to us. That's all we're asking for. But the only way they can stay next to us, and why next to us? Because if they're not next to you, what are they doing? Pulling, drifting left, drifting right, peeing on every single tree they see, picking up a rock, putting it in its mouth, licking another dog's pee. Like, no, we can enjoy the walk right here. You can enjoy it right here. Now, there's a time to be free. Trust me when I tell you, there is a time. You give me 80-20, I will pay you with freedom, baby, especially if the dog's off leash. Run like the wind. Enjoy yourself. When the run's over and it's time to go, do me a favor, come back into heel position. Give me 80-20 back to the car. Give me 80-20 back to the house. I need you next to me. And it's not a hard job to do, because you know why? Every single time you walk with someone in a mall, down the street, pick a loved one, friend, neighbor, whoever it is you hang out with, how hard is it for you to walk next to that person and just maintain pace with them? You do it without even thinking, and yet you somehow can still enjoy yourself at the mall, at the park, walking around the neighborhood, yet somehow stay within what you might call arm's reach of the person next to you. That's all we're asking for. Enjoy the walk, but just stay next to me. Because I'm telling you now, if you don't ask them to stay next to you or give them a job to do, which is to pay attention to you and stay next to you, well, they're going to do something. And it's going to be anything but pay attention to you. It's going to be, like I said, pulling you here, yanking you there, dragging you. And we don't need that. Dog doesn't need to do that. But again, once they perfect that 80-20, life's wonderful, you know? And sure, if they drop to 50-50, all right, 50-50 I'll take. What I'm not going to take is 0 on me, 150% dragging me, you know, towards whatever. So that's no good. This is a good question. So actually I have a video getting ready to drop probably in the next, within a week, I would say. And it's how we take a golden retriever, a really bad puller, who, by the way, was on 2 different medications for basically doggy ADD and like just a hyperactive personality, if you will. We didn't prescribe the drugs, but the owners were running out of options, and took the dog to one of those veterinary behaviorists or whatever they're called, who put them on psych meds. And the dog been on psych meds for, I don't know, months and months. And mind you, the dog's only like a year old at this point and already on heavy duty drugs. All the dog needed some training. But we take that dog, who is you can imagine if it's on drugs, how bad the attention span was and all that. And we teach it the 80-20 rule. And very long story short, we get that dog to walk beautifully on a leash in about 8.5 minutes and show you how to do it at home. And it's a golden retriever, but yeah, it works for any breed of dog. And it's just show you, like, I don't want to make fun of anybody out there in the dog training world. It doesn't take 8 months to teach your dog how to walk nice on a leash. 8 minutes. And we're done. And we can move on to bigger and better things. Do what? You want to give him some food? Yes, ma'am. We show you how you can teach a dog who's now over a year old and on psych meds how to just walk beautiful on a leash. Because let me tell you, you want to talk about 80-20 rule. This dog was just yoking me every which way. And I'm a big boy. And this dog, who's like, let's say 70 pounds, dragging me everywhere. And who wants to do that? Who wants to walk a dog that's just ripping you left and ripping you right? We actually brought out a measuring device. I've never seen anybody else do this. The same device you used to like weigh something, or like you caught a fish, we put it on the leash to see how hard this dog pulled. And you'll have to see the video to see kind of the before and after. So really excited about that. Because this is exactly as I expected. I said, Spider, grab your camera. We're going to fix this right now. And sure enough, we fixed it, like I said, in about 8.5, 9 minutes. All right, we're about to pull the last stake off. So any final questions?
Yeah, we are going to talk about introducing a dog. We're going to talk about that right now. And you might look out for the near future. We should have a video releasing soon about how to introduce a young dog and an older dog to other dogs in the house.
Yeah, we have some videos we're probably going to film tomorrow or the next day that shows you how to introduce a puppy to an adult dog the proper way, and introducing an adult dog to a newborn baby. You're bringing a baby home. There's little techniques and tricks we've learned over the years that have worked with us to set you up for success safely. Because when we're talking about a little baby infant, we can't, there is no room for error, especially with a 120, 130, 140 pound dog or whatever. It doesn't matter. It could be a 30-pound dog, can do a lot of damage to a little infant if it thinks that infant is a toy, if it's at all stressed or concerned about it, or all kinds of ugly things can happen. So we got to be real careful how we do that, but we got a video coming out to show you how we do that. Well, I think that's about a wrap. So thanks for joining us. A little different. Like I said, they're training even when you're not training them. So we're cooking, but he needs to be out and hanging out with us. So he's getting some socialization. He's staying on the place board. We're doing some position changes. I know we're doing more talking than training. That's kind of how it goes, but that's it. A little behind the scenes is what a training session might look like. We got to cook. But we got a puppy, so we got to train him. So that's how it goes. All right, thanks for watching, y'all. If you want to find out more about our training, you all know where to find us, DIYK9.com. And we'll see you in the courses. See you in the next video.
Now can we get a toy?